Good morning to you and another warm welcome to Mbongweni local village. It is in the Mbizana local municipality and it is of course the district of Alfred Nzo. We're here to commemorate World Food Day. It is commemorated by 150 countries all over the world under the auspices of the United Nations. An initiative that was started by the Food and Agriculture Organization. We're bringing it home now and wanting to find out how it fits in to the South African context. A little bit earlier, we saw the Minister in the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Mr. Senzeni Zokwana. He was joined by his counterpart in the Department of Social Development, Bathabile Dlamini, as well as the Deputy Minister in Agriculture, and MEC Mlibo Kobeshani. And they were there cutting the ribbon, unveiling a food mountain. Those food groups that are represented there are part of a nutritious diet, and the food will be distributed to the locals in this village. It is quite important to do so, but let's take a look at what will happen in the greater scheme of things and how sustainability of good food will be initiated here in this part of South Africa. So let's speak to one or two of the individuals you just saw there a moment ago. A very good morning to you, Minister. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to the viewers.
Minister, I'm going to start with you and ask you what we are doing as the Department of Agriculture to ensure that there's sustainability in food production from this part of South Africa.
We as a department, we have got a number of programs, be it Fetsatlala, which deals with crop production by families to assist them to meet their needs. We have got Ilimalitzima, which is also another funding to promote food gardening, which is also about family production. We do have CASP, which is meant to assist upcoming farmers with funding to ensure that they are able to be sustainable and even to graduate to be commercial farmers. So there is a broad number of programs. Not far from here, we've got an ocean. We're saying that we must come back and tell people here as to what kind of fish are available here. As we're going to be issuing licenses next year, we look at that area also to deal with food insecurity, because this area we are in has been found to be 43.6% food insecure, meaning that the bulk of families don't know where their next meal will come from. It is funny because this area has got good soil, it has good rains, it is the means and the will. Our being here, therefore, is to say to people, don't wait for government to come. Do something. Government will be happy to see you working your garden and we will not hesitate to come and assist you.
I'm glad that you're not just giving out fish, as the proverb would say, but you're also teaching people how to fish. And also, President Jacob Zuma speaking extensively about the importance of exploring the ocean's economy. So that's another thing that we can focus as well. Minister Bathabile Dlamini, I want to speak to you now about the importance of food security when it comes to the socio-economic development of South Africans.
Food security is very important, more particularly from young age, and that is why we support ECD centers and 15 rand per child per day, so as to ensure that kids develop psychologically and cognitively, and then that would assist to have a child that is going to be strong. But also, we don't just distribute social relief of distress. It must have vitamins, so it must be fortified. And then thirdly, almost all our grant recipients, when they receive their grant, they go and buy food. And so the reason we are working with the Department of Agriculture, it's because we want to ensure that our people buy local, because we want to use the community gardens that agriculture has started.
Indeed. So it's not just about making sure that we eliminate hunger, but there's also a poverty alleviation aspect therein. I'd like to speak about how we're empowering locals here, particularly women as well. Are we educating them about things like imports and exports and a financial business model when it comes to farming, so that they can also grow and expand and become businesswomen and not just farmers?
I'm happy that today one of the donors of food, Tiger Brands, have signed an MAU with our department. the aim is to say, let the locals be able to produce the crops you use. If it is beans, buy them local. But when we so that is meant to make sure therefore that women and young girls and boys participate, knowing very well that markets are available. Luckily, during the NGC, I was not in the country, I was in Russia with the ministers of BRICS in agriculture, saying that let's open our markets, let's buy within each other. The BRICS Bank is meant to make sure, therefore, that in terms of infrastructure development, funding is made available. We're doing a lot as a department to make sure that we open up markets, but training is key. That's why in the department, the research center, which is supposed to make sure ARC, to make sure that people know the quality of their soil, which crops to plant, when to plant. And I believe that with the departments sharing together, basic education, social services, and ourselves, we can make our people proud. But I repeat, people must be able to wake up and say, government, see me, I'm trying. Don't wait for somebody to come. Be able to work. There's no dam that you must wait for Bathabile here. You must be working so that the government can work with you. We must find them working. Plant your garden. If there's no fencing, won't be far to say that you need fencing.
Indeed. Minister, I now want to speak about the issues of food. It's not just about the lack of food in parts, but sometimes the quality of food. And I know you spoke about it, fortified. You know, things such as fast food and these processed foods that we are consuming that are making us sick. And sometimes we suffer from dietary ailments as a people. How do we then educate communities about what substances should be they should be eating? So something from dairy, something from protein, etc. In that while we provide these services of social development, we're also educating them on foods that will make them live longer and stronger.
What we've done is that when we distribute social relief of distress, we've included vegetables into our package. But protein like meat, we haven't yet featured into that because we are going to need assistance from agriculture. You have to be very careful if you venture into that. But also what we've been doing is to target areas where our children are stunted or areas where there is malnutrition. And in those areas, we ensure that people get a very correct food so that you are able to treat whatever that might come out of malnutrition.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Minister Bathabile Dlamini, Minister Senzeni Zokwana, just giving us a bit of an update of what we can expect this World Food Day. We can't really say Happy World Food Day because a lot of people are still going to bed hungry in South Africa, but there is hope, there is change, and you've just heard what government is doing to change the scenario there. So do have a thoughtful day, I should say, and think about the next person before you throw that food out of the window when you are not, desiring.
All right, thanks very much.